Hello, science enthusiasts. In today's video, we'll take a look at NASA's incredible Mars exploration rover, Perseverance's exciting journey on the Red Planet. You'll find everything you need to know about Perseverance's challenges in searching for signs of life on Mars, the samples it has collected, and its past missions in this video. You won't want to miss this fascinating exploration story. NASA's exploration rover Perseverance began collecting rock samples from the surface of Mars. The samples, stored in small titanium tubes, are expected to be retrieved in a future Mars mission and brought back to Earth. The mission marked a significant milestone in the search for life on the Red Planet, as it was believed that rock and soil samples could only be analyzed in laboratories on Earth. Perseverance collected 10 tubes of samples from the exploration site in Jezero Crater, a mix of volcanic and sedimentary rocks the rover has been digging up over the past years. Samples of Mars soil and atmosphere were also collected. What connection was there between Jezero Crater on Mars and Lake Salda in Burdur? The flat area named Three Forks in Jezero Crater was chosen as the site for the sample depot to be created on Mars. NASA Mars scientist Mike Meyer described this area as flat as a billiard table, really boring, which could facilitate future missions landing here and accessing the depot. Meyer noted that the created depot was more of a Plan B feature. Perseverance stored copies of the samples in anticipation of sending them home in a future Mars mission. NASA didn't want to risk the samples getting stuck or spoiled inside the rover. Meenakshi Wadhwa, a Mars mission scientist, emphasized the critical nature of the Three Forks depot in ensuring the collection of high-value samples in case of any issues with Perseverance. If a nightmare were to occur and Perseverance was lost, the return mission would be directed straight to Three Forks. 2 unmanned aerial vehicles equipped with claws would capture the tubes and deliver them to the rocket system. The samples would then be launched from Mars for the return journey home. Scientists expected the samples to provide a wide range of analytical opportunities. Volcanic rocks would help understand the age of Jezero Crater and Mars' extensive geological history. The most intriguing would be sedimentary rocks, which would attempt to identify traces of ancient biology. Perseverance extracted these from the remnants of delta beds in Jezero. Deltas were structures created when a river slowed down upon meeting a larger body of water, depositing alluvium and sand. Structures provided environments suitable for microbial organisms to be found. Lori Glaze, NASA's planetary science director, said the question of life on Mars could only be answered using advanced techniques from Earth. We can do a lot with our remote sensing instruments, but we can't take all our laboratory equipment and experts to the surface of Mars. That's why we're bringing samples back. We'll also have decades to study the samples and come up with new ideas. It would take just over a month to create the depot. The tubes would be placed approximately 6 meters apart from each other in a zigzag pattern. Their exact locations would later be photographed and cataloged. Once this mission is complete, Perseverance and the Ingenuity Discovery helicopter had begun the next stage of their mission by climbing to the top of the delta. The rover was equipped with more than 20 unused sample tubes ready to be filled with interesting rocks. The return mission to Mars in 2028, with a roughly 2-year cruise time, would involve collecting sample tubes from the Three Forks depot or, if Perseverance was still operational, from Perseverance. These samples would return to Earth in 2033. The project was being carried out as a joint venture between NASA and the European Space Agency, ESA. Perseverance, nicknamed Percy, is a car-sized Mars exploration rover designed to explore Jezero Crater on Mars as part of NASA's Mars 2020 mission. It was built by the Jet Propulsion Laboratory and launched on July 30th, 2020 at 11:50 UTC. Confirmation of the rover's successful landing was received on February 18th, 2021 at 20:55 UTC. As of July 6, 2024, Perseverance has been active on Mars for 1201 sols, 242 Earth days or 3 years, 4 months, 24 days since landing. Upon the rover's arrival, NASA named the landing site the Octavia E. Butler Landing Site. Perseverance is similar in design to its predecessor, Curiosity, but with more intermediate enhancements. It carries 7 primary payload instruments, 19 cameras, and 2 microphones. The rover also transported Ingenuity, an experimental technology test platform that performed the first powered flight on another planet on April 19, 2021. Damage to one or more rotor blades on January 18, 2024, UTC, caused NASA to retire the helicopter. Among the rover's goals were to identify very ancient Mars environments capable of supporting life, search for evidence of ancient microbial life existing in these environments, collect rock and soil samples for storage on the surface of Mars, and test oxygen production from Mars's atmosphere to prepare for future crewed missions. The mission aimed to investigate whether Mars had conditions suitable for past habitability, biological evidence, and past microbial life. The vehicle was planned to be launched from Mars 2028 on an Atlas V541 and managed by the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. The NASA science team recommended that the vehicle be collected and surface samples. 2015 was developed to be picked. Samples left in Will on mission Bring Back Our to Open Will was announced for instruments from announced. In September 2013, NASA announced its support for researchers and scientists to develop the necessary instruments. The instruments were selected after an open competition in July 2014. The research conducted by the rover will provide the information needed for the analysis of collected samples. The head of the science team assumes that NASA's previous assumption that there has never been life on Mars. However, findings from the Curiosity probe suggest it is possible. The Mars 2020 rover was investigating areas of Mars that might have been habitable in the past. It was searching for traces of past life and preserving samples that could contain life for later examination. It was also testing the technology needed for humans to explore Mars. One of the mission's main goals was NASA's long-term project for collecting samples and researching manned missions. The vehicle included MOXIE, which tested the production of oxygen from Martian soil and researched the dangers of dust storms on Mars. The mission management system for Mars 2020 was the same as that for Curiosity, and it would be used after landing on Mars. Landing was accomplished using the Skycrane system. During the mission, the vehicle roamed the Martian surface and was designed to withstand Martian conditions. For about a Martian year, 687 Earth days, it worked in the Jezero Crater. The crater was chosen for research because of its delta, which is the best place for research. Curiosity's body was made of aluminum and had a capacity of 283 Dm3. Unlike Curiosity, the Perseverance has a 2.1-meter-long, 5-jointed robotic arm. The drill can be used to examine rocks and chemicals and to split them into small pieces. Don't forget to support us and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video. Goodbye.